How you doing, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Standard Sports Recap. I'm your Standard Sports editor, Brenner Moore.
And I'm the senior anchor, Blaine Wheeler.
Before we start, you heard Blaine there. He's referred to himself as the senior anchor. That's a new position that we just gave Blaine. He's the first one at the Standard of senior anchor. He's just going to be doing more video stuff, more audio stuff, because honestly, he's so much better at it than I am. I'd go as far as say he's a little bit better than Alec is. Don't tell him I said that, though. Plus, look at him. How handsome, right?
Stop.
All right. Driving on in, Bears clinched a play-in game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Blaine, you were at that last game. Go ahead and tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about it.
so a team of 5 of us traveled up to northern Iowa, about 7.5-hour drive to see a loss, a 15-point loss, and it was a really deflating loss in a sense of the Bears were playing close games coming up to the fact, and you think this one might be close too, and you go and lose by 15 before you go into the biggest game of the season.
Absolutely.
So now looking forward to the biggest game of the season, the Bears go from 1st to 7th, and from preseason to now. That's the first time any team has ever been predicted to finish 1st and finish under 5th.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Credit to Wyatt Wheeler for doing that research. But
That being said, Alize Johnson says that's why he plays, though. If you saw
Right.
that tweet,
Yep.
Wyatt, like you said, Wyatt Wheeler tweeted that out, and Alize Johnson said that's what keeps him going. So let's see how the Bears take this going in. But go ahead, keep going.
yeah, and Alize, I saw somebody reply to that running through a brick wall because so they're obviously going to be motivated, which it didn't really show at Northern Iowa. There was no energy. There was a lot of down, sloppy faces and just not good basketball.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with Lusk's future, with the Bears' future. They play Valparaiso, a 10 seed, Thursday, and then they'll look to play Southern Illinois, a 2 seed, who they've lost to, I think, 7 straight times against Barry Hinson and Southern Illinois Salukis.
And against Valparaiso, they are 2-0 this season. This is the first time, and ever since the history of the two teams, that they've defeated them twice. They were 0-4 coming into this season against Valparaiso in previous seasons. But at the same time, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but we'll see what happens. Moving on to the women's side, they just keep winning. They secure the 2nd seed into the Women's Missouri Valley Conference, and they're rolling right on into it. That's really all. I mean, they're playing great basketball.
With what they lost in the middle of the year and Audrey Hold and how they've responded and some of the players have played, it's really
Yeah,
really
they've been following the next man up policy, or next woman up, I should say. And a lot of teams like to say that they have the next man up policy. A lot of teams say that they can rely on their bench, and it's just whoever's plugged in can play in the offense and in the defense. The Lady Bears actually prove that they can do that, and they've proved it time and time again, and I expect them to prove it time and time again, especially in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Their biggest target, Drake University. 2 losses to them this year already. It's going to be hard to beat them. If a team can do it, it's going to be a seasoned Lady Bears team, though. Moving on from there, the women's indoor track team just went and competed in the conference championship for the indoor season. They still have the outdoor season coming up. Blaine, after you guys traveled from basketball, you guys went ahead and stopped in and saw them.
After the game at Northern Iowa, the dome is connected to the basketball arena where the indoor track is at the dome. So
Right.
it was just a short 1-minute walk over to the track and field. Got to look at some of the Bears. So that was refreshing. It was fun to see.
Yeah.
So we don't have an indoor
No, we don't. So we
facility
don't.
here at Missouri State.
Right, so we don't get to see 'em.
It was nice to watch them in action.
Yeah, they finished 5th overall in the Valley Championship, and we saw a couple records broken here and there, school record for shot put. So overall, 5th place, still a good personal weekend for the Bears.
Yeah.
Moving on to baseball, pretty much the last story of the week. Kind of played a weird weekend. They were supposed to play 3 games against Central Arkansas. Some weather delayed that. We saw all the games move to Sunday, which switched from 3 games to a doubleheader. Then it got pushed back from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Bears were itching to play, and they finally got to do so. First game was a battle of the defenses. Dylan Coleman, 13 strikeouts on 2 hits and 3 walks. You can't really ask much more, and he knows it too. And he lights out. The kid was lights out. You just can't say it really any other way. He pitched 8 full innings. The 9th inning was controlled by the closers, but unfortunately, we got some free baseball. Went in the 10th inning, and Central Arkansas just kind of turned up the heat in that 10th inning, secured 1 run off a single RBI, and that was history.
When you get a performance from a guy like Dylan Coleman who goes 8 innings so deep, you just need something from the offense. The bats have to get going there.
Oh, absolutely.
And that really hurts the fact that Dylan Coleman couldn't get a win out of that performance.
If I recall correctly, in the first game, the Bears went 2 for 34 at the plate. That's atrocious. Any way you look at it. Only 2 hits, unacceptable, especially like you just said, when your pitcher's giving it his all. I should also mention that he threw over 110 pitches, which is bonkers, especially when you pitch as well as you have. Moving into the second game, saw something a little bit more. A little stagnant going in. Ty Buckner saw the mound again after after a very rough start, had over 15 ERA after his first game. Settled in, saw a couple more walks. He walked a couple guys, but 4.2 innings, didn't have any earned runs. He had 1 run accredited to himself off an error after a drop ball in right field and then some throwing errors. Got him a run on the board, not credited to him. But in the 6th inning, the Bears came alive. 5 RBIs in that in that inning. It all started with Matt Brown, the senior third baseman who everyone's kind of been worried about seeing how they go, especially since he's competing for his spot. Got things started for the Bears, and they just kind of ran with it. From there, Central Arkansas only would score 1 more, and the closers kind of closed it out. We've talked about the bullpen by committee, and we saw that this weekend.
Without Fromson, you're going to have some guys, young guys, step up. So.
Yeah, the teams, especially in the pitching staff, teams full of young guys. Dylan Coleman showing off that he's going to take the call as a sophomore.
And he has to. I feel like
absolutely.
With the team and with the way the rotation sits, Coleman is the guy, and I think the Bears need those 8-inning performances for really the rest of the season.
Right, and we even saw Ty Buckner. He's starting to settle in. I think Ty Buckner just had a very, very bad first game. He's going to find his rhythm coming in as a freshman into such a strong program like the Bears is really hard to do. It's a lot of pressure, especially your first time on that mound.
And even as a top prospect coming in, everyone's looking at your name. There's pressure there, but the young freshman, like you said, first game rough, second game less, and maybe third game, fourth game we see.
I expect him to get better.
I definitely think so.
A couple more hiccups, more or less, probably. But he's going to get better, and I think he's going to be a very good asset to the Bears.
Yeah, and the first home stretch will be Tuesday, next Tuesday at Oklahoma State. So Bears got that to look forward to. It's coming up real soon, March 6th. So.
Right, and the next game for the Bears actually takes place today at 3 p.m. as they travel to Oral Roberts. Unfortunately, we won't be able to travel there for miscellaneous reasons. You'll have either me, myself, or Alec covering on me, Blaine, or Alec, excuse me, covering from Twitter, listening to the radio. I'd also like to say that Central Arkansas advertised that I could watch the game through a stream and then asked me to pay $9.95 for that. I think that's just idiotic.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
even
Central Arkansas. UCA, right up the road.
Easy baseball. Come on. Anywho, they played Oral Roberts today, 3 p.m. We'll have something for you. Watch for another one of my report cards. I think that's how we're going to be doing it.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know.
The games we can't get to, we're going to do some report cards, break down. It lets us give our opinion a little bit more. I'd like to hear the feedback from you guys. If you like them, I'm going to keep doing them. Blaine will keep doing them. Alec will keep doing them. If you don't, tell us what you want, because it's going to be hard with Keith Gutton not always consistently going on the post-game show. We just don't want to give you guys a press release, and that's what it comes down to. So, I'm Brenner Moore.
I'm Blaine Wheeler.
And as always, this video is brought to you by Larry Catt Law Office, the #1 lawyer in Springfield for drug, DUI, and traffic cases. You ever in some trouble? Give them a call. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.